Ladies and gentlemen, it's the War Report podcast, live Tuesday, 7 p.m. We're an hour out from Smackdown Live. We're coming off what I thought was a great Monday Night Raw, especially compared to the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Women's main event, Sasha Banks, two-time women's champion. I think good things on the horizon. We got Ryan, we got Eric. We're waiting on Vince. Guys, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, brother. Eric Beanie is running wild. But I think I have the wrong attire on because I should have the boss shirt on right now.
I mean, she was a boss last night, that's for sure.
Ooh. Eric Rowan's out.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months.
Man, the Wyatts really have no luck, do they?
I don't know what you call it. An injury bug would have.
None of them have any luck. It's crazy.
No. Isn't who's coming back? Rowan.
Harper. No,
Harper,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So he could be moved to SmackDown with Wyatt.
It works out great. Harper comes back, Rowan leaves.
At least there's always a replacement.
Yeah, it feels like a rotating door of wide members.
So while we're waiting for Vince, I thought a good place to start before we get into Bound for Glory, before we get into TNA and what the fuck's going on with them, we get into SmackDown Live, Raw, No Mercy, Hell in the Cell. We have a lot to cover. But the first thing I want to cover is what the fuck is going on right now with WWE, either past or present superstars getting fucking stabbed. We started off after our podcast last week with Jamie Noble getting stabbed and suffering a collapsed lung outside of his trailer park, which, quite frankly, I do find a little funny. I mean, if you're going to find humor in a tragedy, when JB Noble was, an active wrestler on a weekly basis, his gimmick was the trailer trash. And you have to imagine with the amount of time he's been with WWE that he's made money, and yet he's still living in a trailer park. So I find that kind of comical, but at the same time, what the fuck? I mean, Jamie Noble, now Alberto Del Rio got stabbed twice, I think, in the back. What's your guys' take on all this? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I really hope that there's not going to be like a Bruiser Brody incident, like that. That was terrible when Bruiser Brody got stabbed to death, and I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. I mean, I don't know what the hell is up with people.
Yeah, thinking they could just up and stab someone.
Shit.
Like I messaged last night, I was hoping it was just a false report.
Yeah, one would only hope, but unfortunately, it's all too real. And the second stabbing in a week?
Eric, are you hearing a lot of background static with your mic?
I was hearing that when we was talking before we started.
Myself or Eric?
Eric.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. There's a lot of static coming from your side. But it's only when you start talking. I don't know why.
Probably a connection issue, if anything.
So, I just I just don't get it. I mean it's really getting a little ridiculous now with these incidents happening. And it's like we always say with deaths, these things happen in threes. So
yeah,
are we about to get another one? I mean, it's just crazy.
I swear on Raw, someone just needs to be laid out if they jump the barricade.
Well, I mean, listen, they used to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really need to send a message to the next person who tries anything. Just
Well, listen, to be fair, neither of these incidents happened in the arena.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, just to create the fan interaction that you don't touch kind of deal.
Yeah, well, you remember the ladder match between Eddie and RVD, and that
Yeah.
guy came in and Eddie like punched the guy out.
Hey,
Or,
Eric, I'm going to make a suggestion. Why don't you drop out and then sign back in and see if it helps? Because you can hardly make out anything you're saying because of the static. So while we're waiting for Eric to get back, maybe we can touch a little bit on Bound for Glory. I stopped watching TNA a long time ago. I follow along pretty much through just articles and posts people are putting up. Obviously, I follow Broken Matt Hardy. You know, so I get that. So first, the power went out during the show.
Yeah, that 5-minute power outage, and I love the chant. pay your electric. Or,
yeah, well, according to Dixie Carter, things are okay now. So what does this mean? She says that she will never sell the company to WWE.
I heard they had enough money for 2016 tapings.
Well, yeah, but 2016, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's
2 months
coming to an end. So what's going to happen now?
That's all I heard was.
Yeah, you know, so what's going to happen in 2 months? You know, it's like, what, you're a hero for now? And you know, I don't know. I just, and it's a shame because they have the talent. They just have, you know, Dixie Carter, which seems to be the problem.
Sooner or later, they're going to run out of bailouts. Unfortunately.
Well, and notice how this last bailout is unnamed. They're not coming forward. You know, whoever bailed them out, and apparently they needed $600,000 to have Bound for Glory go.
Yeah, I love the fact that Dixie said there was never a question that Bound for Glory was not going to happen.
Well, listen, we all know Dixie Carter's full of shit.
Oh, I know. I just, when you're in trouble, you can't just continue to lie, and because sooner or later that truth's going to come out and it's going to bite you in the ass, and then you're going to have absolutely no ground to stand on with no reputation because you continuously lie.
How's my sound now?
A lot better.
Okay, cool, good. I think Charlie made more money in Vegas than Bound for Glory did this weekend.
Well, that was
I didn't pay for it.
What was the attendance like? I mean, did they?
It looked just, the crowd looked good while the lights were on. Sorry,
through most of it.
That joke was too easy. I don't like the new title that Aaron Rex has. The whole MMA rules.
Talk a little bit about that because, again, I'm not following TNA, so I don't really know what you're talking about.
It's literally a 3-round MMA rule with judges rewarding points.
It's a little confusing to me. I don't really like it.
That's fucking stupid.
They broke down the rules before the pay-per-view, and I still didn't understand how either one won a round.
It's like it's a brawl for all again. It's kind of dumb.
It's overcomplicating the wheel.
And it's the same title that they've reintroduced this is like the 4th time now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it was it the Legends title, and it was the
the
TV title
match,
and
the
this
TV title, and then it was, what is that?
The global title?
King of the Mountain match.
Yeah, it's been through so many incarnations, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it. Do you think that Galloway was supposed to win it in the first place if he wasn't injured?
Yeah, that's hard. Especially with Aaron Rex coming in. It'd be good to give him something to establish him.
Steve, I'll tell you what, Cody made a hell of a debut, and
I was going to say
that. What, I actually disagree with you guys. I saw the video of their debut, and quite frankly, I thought it was pretty fucking weak. All the hype for him to come out for literally 15 seconds. I think the best part of it was that wifey was sporting some serious camel toe. But other than that, I don't know. It was a lot of hype, and it just, I would have liked to see him be like a special in a match.
Or
to
have an
on
impromptu match right after the. That could have been fun.
Yeah,
even a quick. Because I saw a video where he came out during Mike Bennett's thing, and then they got into it for a few minutes. What was that from?
That happened. That was in the. I watched the pay-per-view live. That was his spot. Right after it was a women's match. His wife Eve came out, and then Cody came out. There was a good brawl, a small brawl, and that was it.
It was weak. In my opinion, it was weak. But
they definitely could have done more with Cody.
They should have. They should.
I still would find it hilarious if WWE ended up owning TNA and getting Cody back by that way.
Well, technically, they wouldn't necessarily get him back because with his contract, he can still wrestle anywhere he wants. Although I'm sure WWE would put the kibosh on that real quick.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Matt also sent out a cryptic tweet about Monday night.
Oh, yeah. That was interesting. I think he was just kind of playing.
Yeah, is that him just kind of stirring the pot a little bit, seeing what the feelers are?
I think that was stirring the pot and kind of putting the feelers out for whenever his contract's up. Considering Triple H wants him in.
Well, yeah. I mean, Triple H wants him. But Jeff doesn't seem too enthusiastic about wanting to come back. He's afraid of getting too burnt out too quickly.
I think with the Brock Lesnar's and everything, you can actually there's a taste for a contract that won't burn them out. They're more willing to let superstars come and go a little bit on a lighter schedule than doing the full 300 days on the road.
That's true. That's true. But
a couple of years ago, that I'd say there's no chance they'd let him do that. And before Jeff Hardy left, did they offer him a Undertaker contract? Well, not the WrestleMania one, but when he was doing pay-per-views.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
I remember reading that. Granted, it was years ago. Back when, after he left with the CM Punk feud. And then he got offended over trying to set up a Mania match.
I've heard that from Jeff, where he doesn't want to do that hard schedule. But at the same time, I've also heard Jeff state that he'd like to end his career in WWE and do a WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard that too.
It was against Undertaker, right?
Hold on a second.
What's up, Vince?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
We can.
All right. I just had to.
Loud and clear.
I've had a hell of a day. Well, 48 hours. So.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Well, it started off with the fucking. Yesterday we lost power at the office, so we had like an electrician come in last night to try and fix it. And basically the past 2 days have been like just surge protectors frying. Like we went through 7 surge protectors. Every time, like the guy was there for 4 hours today, and then he turned the electrician, and we turned the power back on, and everything shorted out as soon as he fucking left. So it was like, what did you do for 4 hours? If this shit shorts out as soon as you leave. So it was just like,
that's electric for you. One tiny thing goes and it just screws everything up.
It's true because we think it's somewhere in the circuitry, like because it's cutting off the power to our everything. Like we'll turn on one computer and it'll work. We'll turn on a second computer, the whole venue, like the lights, all the computers, everything in there will go off if we have on like more than 2 computers. It's really weird. So, anyway, I had to deal with that. So I've been
Sounds like a glorious day.
glorious. Yes, absolutely. Speaking of glorious, did you guys see TNA? I don't know where we are on this, but have you seen
That's actually where we were.
Excellent. So, TNA is still in business somehow.
Yeah, through 2016, aka 2 months. So congratulations on your fucking bailout. You're done.
Yay.
Well, we keep on saying
It was a year ago. It was a year ago that we were saying the company was done. They're out of business. No more shows.
I've been saying it for years.
Well,
They're
yeah,
still
but
going.
this was around the time last year. You remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
the fiasco with what
Not
was
Spike,
it?
but Discover America.
I thought it was Destination.
Oh, Destination. Is it Destination America?
I thought it was
Yeah.
Destination.
Yeah, because part of the Discover, it's part of the Discovery Channel package. You have to have Discovery and Velocity and all these other stupid channels if you want it. But yeah, there was that thing, and then they got picked up by Pop. But most of the markets Pop was in shows like the TV Guide at the same time they showed TNA. I don't know. The whole thing's kind of a messed up situation.
I hate how Pop comes in with the letterbox.
Yeah, it's not HD. That's the other problem, is that the station itself is just not HD. So
I wouldn't care about HD. Just give me the full 16:9.
right, yeah, no, they don't even do that. They give you 4:3.
Yeah, just give me that aspect ratio, and I'm quite all right with not the.
Right, yeah, I get it.
wrestlers.
You can watch it as
It's amazing, though. TNA is like the JTG of wrestling promotions. It sticks around somehow.
Who bailed them out this time? We don't even know.
No, they won't say.
If she just took a loan from her dad again, that would be pretty fucked up.
I'm assuming
If that man was stupid enough to give her another loan, then it's
Right.
on him.
Yeah,
I mean,
families. You're always blind to family.
it's true. It's family. You'll do things for your family that you wouldn't do for other people normally. But
I just don't know where do they go? I mean, you got to rinse the stank that you're constantly hovering above the toilet.
Everyone's saying that the show was really solid. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but the show was solid. And I want to watch the tag match because that went like half an hour.
Yeah, I did.
I was reading the updates. They went all over the place outside the arena, and so it sounds like
a car outside Universal.
Yeah, it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a very complete story.
I almost feel like that should have been the main event over the title match.
Well, especially since didn't
Lashley retained.
Right, Lashley retained, so you're not gonna have a title change. You might as well.
I wasn't really interested in the world title match for some reason.
Oh, after the tag match, I kind of stopped caring.
I wasn't interested when Mike Bennett wasn't in the title match, so they should have just put him in it.
Then they go and change the title next taping.
Right. Okay. Spoiler alert. I don't know if you guys heard this, but Eddie Edwards won the TNA title from Bobby Lashley, which I'm sorry, Eddie Edwards. I work with him a lot, or I have worked with him a lot in the past, and I love Eddie, and he's a very fantastic wrestler. But in my mind's eye, I don't see a match where Eddie Edwards beats Bobby Lashley in terms of
ever
star power. Yeah. Like in terms of just 6.5 foot tall black guy versus guy my height. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not knocking on him because he's a good wrestler and he's a world champion all over the place. But I'm just saying, what did they do to get to that point where Bobby Lashley is beaten by somebody who's literally like half his size?
Even the buildup was he picked him because he thought it was an easy win. That's not how you hand off the world title with the current champion going, "Oh, I'll pick him because I could beat him."
This guy sucks. So if he beats you, does that mean you suck? Like, you know what I mean? So,
it almost reminds me of when Bully Ray randomly dropped the title to Chris Sabin. Although not as big of a height difference or size difference, clearly, but still, it was kind of out of the blue.
Yeah, I really don't. And again, it's not a knock against Eddie Edwards. I'm just trying to figure out the way that they make this make sense. Like,
I'll be honest with you, I don't think TNA's done anything that makes sense in quite a number of years. And I actually think that we've spent 15 minutes on TNA, and that's like 15 minutes too long, as far as I'm concerned.
Even the whole tag match with the parties,
right,
just was insanity. But I think that's the allure to it, is that it's just that crazy. Jeff went through at least one character transformation.
Right. Yeah, and then I like where Bobby Lashley was going because he had this he collected all the belts, like he was all the champions at one time, like Kurt Angle did. Then he started wearing the Ninja Turtles headband. You know, he's tweaking little things and making himself like he was always.
I would like it if he wore that throughout, but putting it on halfway through the match is kind of. It reminds me like of an anime where he's like, "Now I'm serious."
Oh Jesus! Yeah, it's like what his superpower instead of Sacco.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Steve. What do you want to? You feel like TNA is not worth the discussion?
I mean, I think we focused way enough on TNA because, quite frankly, it's Division 3. And I don't mean that in regards to the talent. It's just everything else. But what I did want to touch on before we get into Raw, I wanted to touch on SmackDown Live from last week. And I wanted to focus primarily on The Miz. We've been saying it more and more about The Miz. And I don't know if it's Maurice or it's just that he's grown a lot, but his promos are fucking out of control in a good way. And his promo last week with his parents and Ziggler's parents and then Ziggler coming out, the whole interaction I thought was solid. Ziggler's putting his career up. So now, of course, the internet's going crazy. Is this the end of Dolph Ziggler? Does he lose and leave WWE?
I don't. That's a really hard question.
In a very selfish way, I want him to lose and leave.
So he shows up in Northeast Wrestling.
So we can have Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, on the show, or whatever he's going to be. He probably already has like a name picked out for the indies and stuff too. Like I would assume he has the name picked out. And,
if he's leaving, he probably has the name picked out.
Unlike Cody, who was just like, fuck it, we'll just leave and see what happens. And now, did you see how they got around that? He's Cody and Brandy Rhodes. So it's Cody, period, and Brandy Rhodes. Because Brandy Rhodes can use Brandy Rhodes because WWE doesn't own Brandy Rhodes.
Why not instead of RHODES, ROADS?
He said he didn't want to do that. Like he wanted.
I didn't see that.
Can't blame him.
On Twitter something about misspelling it and stuff. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, like Rhino or Taz.
Right, Rhino or Taz or any of those guys that had to change their one letter.
Hardy's.
AJ Styles and Sting didn't, but hey, whatever.
Well, Hardy's. Their situations were different.
Hardy's, I would be so much happier if at one point TNA, to stay afloat, had to work with Carl's Jr. and Hardy's. And then we'd have like the big-headed guy, the Carl's Jr. mascot, and we could have Brother Carl. I knew you'd come, and then he'd be like Brother Hardy's, and they'd like have burgers and shit, and it would just be amazing.
That's hilarious.
Then they'd be rendered obsolete.
They'd eat the food and become obsolete.
Now, would you think? Would you think that? Somebody asked this question online. Will Maxwell and Owen Owens, will they both wrestle? Will they wrestle each other? Will they be tag team partners or would they be enemies?
His little getup at the pay-per-view is cool.
The matching outfit? Yeah, I mean the kid's a star. There's no two ways about it.
I don't get how good that kid is. I
ask that every time. And it also
is ridiculous.
They never have any hearing aids in for the like earplugs in.
Yeah.
You know, because he's in loud venues and shit, you'd think.
Yeah, at the pay-per-view, he was standing there like...
Yeah, he's a champ.
He already know... I think part of that is, I agree with Hardy, his kid already has an old soul. He knows. It feels like he knows why he's out there, what he's doing.
How did we get back to TNA?
I blame
Carl's Jr.
I blame Vince.
Carl's Jr. Brother Carl. No,
so back to the Ziggler thing, Miz thing.
Yeah. What? I don't know where this is going, and it's wonderful. SmackDown has become, especially after the pay-per-view with all the stupid finishes, especially like again, Raw pulled a TNA and gave away a fucking title match for free. You just had a pay-per-view. Hi, you just had a fucking match where the whole point of it was that you were building up for 3 weeks or whatever to a marquee match at a pay-per-view, and then fuck it, just give it away on free TV.
How many title matches did they have the prior week? Wasn't it like the upward of 2 or 3?
Raw's so bad now. Like the brand split, they decided that they were going to take the entertainers and put them on Raw and the wrestlers and put them on SmackDown. So for me, SmackDown's better because I want to watch wrestling. I don't want to watch bullshit. So there are people that definitely want to watch bullshit and don't want to watch wrestling. So I mean,
there's enough talent on Raw that it should be just as good or better than SmackDown, though.
Yeah, but it's being
just
written by different people. Yeah,
being used. That's the issue.
Yeah,
I mean, Kevin Owens and Jericho.
Right, those guys are killing it.
They're a bright part of Raw.
They're hilarious.
You're on the list. I love that.
You're on the list twice.
Anytime Jericho has a list is great, you know?
Yeah, it's so true. And by the way, since we're kind of already steering over to Raw, I just want to, this has just been announced that WWE is reportedly planning to have their first women's Hell in a Cell match with Sasha Banks and
yeah,
Charlotte.
I saw that.
Wow.
That would be interesting.
I've been waiting for one of those for a while now.
That's good.
And I think they're the two right people to do it.
Yeah, great. That'd be the 2 best.
Well, I don't know if it's the 2 best because the response was online, and then this is the first thing I thought of too was, oh, which move is Sasha gonna go and try and kill herself on? That's pretty much her MO. She's like, let's find a move where I can just look like I'm broken in half. And just...
That what was the flip she hit last night?
Charlotte?
Yeah.
Charlotte hit that the corkscrew moonsault?
And she nailed it too. It looked great.
That was beautiful.
She landed on her, she was like a clothesline thing and she kind of landed on her feet to the outside.
Yeah. Looked good.
I have to see it within the context of the match. I've just seen a replay. I just see that one move on a replay, so I'd have to get.
It fit in nicely. It didn't feel forced.
It's good. So I guess this whole thing really was just for Sasha to heal her back up and then come back and get the title again.
That's what it looks
Apparently.
like.
Or the injury could have been worse.
Yeah. But now let me pose a question. Why then does Bayley have a T-shirt that says "Hug like a champ"?
Because she's a hugging champion, don't you?
Because she gives hugs, Vince.
I tell you, when John Cena gets a new T-shirt that says "The champ is here," there's a title reign in his future.
Well, didn't he have that 15 times champ and he lost?
Yeah, they faked you out that
WWE title championship and his U.S. championship.
Well, speaking of John Cena, there's a strong rumor going around that creative, including Vince McMahon, is officially on board with a heel turn for John Cena, and that's how he wins the 15th time.
Dirty. Wow.
Wouldn't it be 16?
Or whatever.
16 times.
No, I was just making sure I was right.
Yeah.
That's still, yeah.
That needs to be at Mania.
Right.
Well, that all depends because I'm hearing now 2 things for Taker. Either they're going to do Taker Cena, or I'm hearing rumors of a fatal 4-way with Undertaker at Mania and have Undertaker versus Brock versus Goldberg versus Sting.
I think throw all the old guys in one match and let them go.
Right. I'm thinking that's a little far-fetched, but that's also going around right now.
I would kill for Undertaker Sting.
That would be cool. They should have done it 8 years ago, though,
Yeah. That match is going to be very disappointing.
Just for the program. The match is never going to live up, but the program will be fun.
Yeah, but a lot of matches were
like the Raw
based
match.
on the build-up more so than the actual match.
I mean, the Rock Hogan match wasn't great, but it's still remembered because of the crowd.
look at Hogan Warrior. You know, it wasn't
that too.
known for necessarily for a great match. It was good for what it was, but it was the build-up. Like Hogan Andre, same thing, build-up.
I think Taker and Sting have enough talent that they can hide any shortcomings.
But see,
that's why you need more guys. That's why they're saying you need more guys in the match, because a guy like Sting, who's not really going to bump.
I think more guys would complicate things.
But who's going to bump? Look at that match.
And it's going to be a very slow match.
Nobody's going to.
I think they could make it work. I mean, if it's Sting's last match, he'll leave everything in the ring. And Undertaker has a year to rest.
It's still intriguing enough for me, but on its own. But
in last match, he handled Brock. So,
but if they are going to do it now.
Yeah. This is
otherwise, just don't do it at all.
Right. Yeah, it's. Well, it was shitting time on that one a long time ago, but
even though we agree it should have happened at Mania 31.
Oh, I agree completely.
Shit, Eric Rowan undergoes surgery, could be out 4 to 6 months.
Yep.
What did he have surgery on? His taint, rotator cuff.
Just in time for Harper to come back.
Yeah, filling his. Is that's always how it seems to go with the Wyatts. One of them will get injured, and they'll just kind of refresh and cycle him in and out. Even fucking Bray, he gets injured. They just send some other dude in there.
They just need to put Strongman bound Smackdown and just keep the Wyatt family together.
Well, now that you brought that up, who's going to be his competition now? Because he said he wants some real competition.
Is that what he said? I fast forward.
Yeah, he basically asked Mick Foley. He's like, "I'm sick of squashing jobbers. Can I wrestle somebody?" What if it's James Ellsworth on a bunch of steroids? Or he comes back sitting on somebody's shoulders like Master Blaster. Like that needs to be. Just James Ellsworth just ripped. Any man with 2 hands stands a fighting chance, and he just.
It's all the jobbers except they've been taking steroids from all the time they lost.
They could all beat him, yeah, and then they all pile on top of him.
They all come together.
Yes, they could. Have you ever? Oh, I gotta find that video. There's one where in Japan, of course, they do this, where they have 5 guys all get together and do a pose that looks like Voltron coming together. It's either Voltron or the Power Ranger guys, Sentai guys coming together. But it's funny because they have like one guy's the middle and then 2 guys jump on for the arms and the legs. It's ridiculous. But
I got to see that.
What do we think is going to happen here? Because he has just been wrestling jobbers. He's just been squashing them.
I mean, who could they potentially put him up against?
Do we get a surprise return or a comeback of some kind?
Mark Henry on Raw or SmackDown?
Oh, hey.
He's on Raw.
Hey,
always Big Show, but I really hope it's neither of them. Honestly,
it should be somebody new, or at least somebody getting repackaged. Maybe.
I hear you, but I'm just.
But yeah, you're saying, I'll just send out the Big Show.
Who would they normally send out? And they're right on top of that list.
Big Show, Mark Henry, or Kane. It would usually be one of those.
Kane's on SmackDown. Somehow
right, yeah. I mean, SmackDown's kind of his brand, man. Like, there are people associated with certain brands, and the Undertaker was definitely associated with SmackDown.
I enjoyed the world title reign he had.
Oh, Kane?
But that was, with his program with Undertaker.
Was that the one where he rolled the Undertaker into a meat locker, or that was Paul Bearer into a meat locker?
That was his program with Edge.
Edge, okay.
And I believe it was Edge who put him in the meat locker. And he just pushed him back in.
And that was like one of the 3 times where they killed Paul Bearer.
Right, yeah. How many times? I mean, unfortunately, you can't tell me more.
It was the cement locker.
No, the one with Kane and Taker is the when the Nexus helped Kane bury the Undertaker.
Yep.
And nothing ever came of that.
I was just gonna say nothing happened after that.
And Kane had 3 pay-per-view title wins over him back to back.
Yeah.
It was the normal match, Hell in a Cell, and Buried Alive. And the Hell in a Cell was the light in the urn, distracting Undertaker.
Yeah. Anytime they mess with the urn, that's kind of a funny.
Yeah, it was like a spotlight from the urn.
Yeah, the spotlight out of the urn was. I mean, that was an old, big old spot. That they used to do that back in the day and make Paul Bearer carry around. It had so many batteries in it, they made him carry it to the airport. He was like, "These fucking guys, it's so heavy." But they always get into weird territory with the urn.
Yeah.
Because it's like either you dump it out and there's ashes, and whose ashes are in the urn? We never really figured that out. Or like it has lights coming out of it.
How they get the ashes back from CM Punk?
Right. Like sometimes it's like the urn has magical powers and can control him, and other times it doesn't, so they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's firm on, sometimes it doesn't.
Right. What else? So do we have any major predictions? Was No Mercy's coming up this weekend, correct?
It's a pretty up in the air pay-per-view.
What's the lineup right now?
I'm pulling that up right now. I have the sheet updated.
Yeah, did you see that they have it's all perfume themed? Yep. Like it's a perfume ad.
Yeah, I
so like
did go a little bit crazy with coloring.
Well, no, all the ads for No Mercy, like they're done like in the style.
I didn't see that.
It would be like Maurice is talking, and it's like black and white, like a Calvin Klein ad, and then they have the WWE logo on a little blue bottle of perfume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait for somebody to go obsession.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I just pulled up No Mercy, the whole page of all the No Mercies. Oh, first one says 2008.
Ambrose, John Cena for the title.
Oh yeah, we only got five matches announced. Well, maybe they'll announce more in half an hour.
I think they'll add Nikki Bella versus Carmella.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's probably gonna be a pre-show match.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably throw another tag team match on there.
Well, let's start with the main event.
Yep.
The triple threat match.
I say AJ's keeping the title.
Me too.
I think AJ keeps the title. It's way too soon.
If they don't give him a solid run, I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah, and also it's not the type of pay-per-view to give John Cena his.
Oh yeah, you can't
win. You
can't.
No
Mercy.
A pay-per-view like that. You need a major stage, Mania or SummerSlam at least.
Money in the Bank wouldn't be too bad or Survivor Series.
But no, I agree with the consensus. AJ's keeping it.
Got it.
Yeah. Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss for the
Becky Lynch should keep the title.
I think
Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch.
I appreciate the fact they call it the SmackDown's women's title instead of the Universal Women's title.
Yeah, they didn't do what Raw did and make a stupid name for.
I'm hoping they just phase out the Universal title and just start calling it the Raw World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, that would have been the.
They can do that at any title change. Yeah. Just switch it up.
I know they wanted to, because here's why they wanted to do it. Raw is the A show, and they wanted their title to be higher up than the world title. So what's higher than the world? The Universe, the Jupiter Championship.
It makes some sense since they call the WWE Universe that, and that you're the champion of the
champion of the universe. Yeah.
How has Kevin Owens not raised his arms up in the air and said, "I'm the master of the universe and I have the power"? You know,
I have the power.
He's from Canada. They might not have gotten American cartoons. Did they? Oh, they probably did. It's Canada, not a foreign country.
I could see Jericho doing something like that. That's more of his character range than Kevin Owens.
The best part was, I think, Jericho. This was months ago, like maybe even a year ago. They were tagging together, and I think Jericho said to Steen, or Steen said to Jericho, "You're the GOAT." I mean, this was right before Jericho started wearing the pants. Yeah. I think he didn't know what GOAT was. So I think Steen said to him, "You're the GOAT," and he just looks at him and goes, "And you're the fucking donkey." It It was the end of a Smackdown, and of course they'll edit
Yeah.
it, but somebody got the uncensored version of it. It's like, you're the goat, and you're the fucking donkey. Like, he didn't know what it meant, so he just came up with another word.
He came up with another animal.
Made sense, I guess, at the time. I wouldn't
It
call
worked.
Kevin Owens a donkey to his face. That would be a bad day. I think that would be a bad day for everybody. But
Make a
What else
bad
we
week for
got
me.
on this?
so we got the triple threat. We settled that. The women's title match. We talked about that. Miz and Ziggler. We have no clue what the hell's
It's
happening.
very up in the air, honestly.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say that he's not leaving, and that Dolph Ziggler is winning that match.
Yeah, I kind of am leaning that way too, because even if he doesn't fully leave, he could leave, like kind of leave, maybe do what they should have done with CM Punk when he took the title and left. And then
Right.
eventually he
Weren't they talking a faction with him, Swagger, and Shelton?
Huh. All right, like amateur
It was
wrestler
some,
guys.
it was Shooters Club or something.
I guess. I mean, they were talking about some kind of shooter
I
club.
don't feel
Yeah,
like Ziggler fits in that though.
they'd have to really,
I mean, I know he wrestled the Kent State or whatever it was, but
and they'd have to focus on that more than the
Yeah.
they'd
I
have to
really
change
like
his gimmick
Poison.
up to
Yeah.
that. Then.
Yeah, who knew that a guy that liked Poison and Queensryche and Cinderella and all those bands wouldn't get over with a
We
modern
got
crowd?
the Bray Orton match officially this time.
Oh yeah, Bray
Is it?
Orton officially. Yeah, it's on Wikipedia, so it's official.
Yeah,
Oh, and you got
well,
right. Slater
It says-
and Rhino versus the Usos is the other match they've announced.
Right.
So.
I see the Usos taking it.
It's too soon. I think it's just too soon for everybody. But if
It
there's
is
one
too soon,
title
but I
to
think
change,
they accomplished what they wanted to in getting Slater a contract, and I think that was
Isn't
the whole point.
Rhino have to go and campaign in less than a month?
oh yeah, he's gonna have to because he's running for his seat.
The Usos are 100% winning those titles.
Ugh. At least they're heels now.
They got new music. That's
Right.
a done deal.
They're so much better again.
Oh yeah. I just don't know where else they go with that, and then you can have a feud with American Alpha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not finished.
Right. Yeah, listen, SmackDown's wide open, and I kind of like that. But
Oh, I love the fact it's wide open.
they should. I'm hoping they announce a couple more matches. Because they only have 5 announced.
SmackDown pre-show on my other screen.
There you go. I'm sure
They
they'll
just
come up
got
with
the-
something.
Currently, just a promo for Wyatt and Orton.
With the tag team scene, let's say the Usos do win, which they probably will. And let's say even at Survivor Series or whatever the pay-per-view is for December, then the Slater and Rhino have their rematch, the rematch and lose. Can you, at that point, stretch out an Usos American Alpha feud all the way to Mania?
Why not?
Well, next month is Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, you can have just teams, and you don't have to do a match, like a tag title match. So I think and the Rumble, they could just be in the Rumble. So I think you could stretch that out, have American Alpha like fall short one of the times, and then finally win the belts at Mania from the Usos.
Right.
You could go multi-tag matches up through Mania. Well, up to Mania. So they're not taking the pin, but they're just not winning.
Because they don't do like long-term booking anymore, because they kind of think that people don't have any attention span, and that to an extent that is true. But
it is true.
I think Vince McMahon conditioned people to have no attention span.
True. It was, we and it wasn't just him. It was just that we started as an industry doing monthly pay-per-views instead of
WCW did that first,
right. And then he matched, and then they did more, and then Vince is like, "Well, fuck, I can do more than."
They're doing it. I can do it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, it probably was if they can do it, I can do it. Not much better.
Yeah, and it's a competition thing.
I just wish with the brand exclusive pay-per-views that they would do it like they used to do it, where they every other month is this month is SmackDown, this month is Raw, instead of doing 2 in the fucking month.
I appreciate.
They also have Hell in a Cell 2 weeks after this, right?
It really is exactly what we said it was going to be, and it's really overkill. It's really every 2 weeks now. Like it's just way too much. There's no time for stories to really develop, and I think a lot of it has to do with this whole idea that there's no attention span anymore. But at the same time, I could see you saying, okay, people don't have the attention span of something going longer than a few months, not a month or a couple weeks. You know what I mean?
That's really the thing is we're burning these stories out. It used to be back in the 80s, you could stretch it out to one of the big 4. So you'd take a feud and you'd go 4 months to SummerSlam or 4 months to WrestleMania or 4 months to Survivor Series or whatever the fuck else.
Even in the 90s, you really could stretch a feud.
Right, and you could stretch it. Well, they would stretch it between multiple pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they've kind of worn out all their fuck finishes, and that's another thing is that you've seen every stupid finish now that you need to either go back and do new finishes or spend time just clean matches and then work. You got to work backwards again because you can't keep adding more. We reached the point where, like hardcore matches and anything involving tables and ladders and chairs and blood and all that we got so much and people wanted it so much that it went the other way. There was a bubble. There was a hardcore housing bubble. And so that happened. And then,
which kind of ruins any of the hardcore matches like the Hell in the Cell if you don't have, I'll say it, kind of feels lacking that there isn't. It becomes so expected that there's some form of blood, some form of use of the cage, and now it's rare.
Yeah, well,
kind of like for the women's, are they going to even use the Hell in the Cell?
Well, I mean, I would hope they would use the Hell in the Cell.
It's a possibility that they go through the match and it's just in the structure.
Right? Yeah, I get you. It's definitely possible.
And in the vein of stretching things out, now that Sasha is the champ again, I feel like at some point by the end of the year she's going to turn on Bayley, and then they'll stretch that out, and because she'll get her month or 2 in as a face, she'll have the rematch with Charlotte at Hell in a Cell, and then
December, January time maybe.
Because I always feel like there should be a Bayley Charlotte feud in between. But then who do you have going for Sasha's title unless Paige makes a comeback or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then you also have to do the Charlotte Dana Brooke thing and get that shit over with.
Oh
Paige, still hurt though?
Wait, is who still hurt?
Paige.
Oh,
I heard she wasn't clear.
Well, there's rumors that she has to get a neck surgery now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's what I had heard too. But again.
I was just making sure that I was working with good intel.
Yep.
Unless they put Nia Jax up there, but
that would be.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It would be good for a December pay-per-view. You could have a traditional Survivor Series match at Survivor Series. Have Nia Jax challenge at Roadblock. And then Royal Rumble have Sasha Banks pull a heel turn on Bayley, and then build up for Mania.
The only thing with Nia Jax is that I feel like if they're gonna put her, I don't want them to put her into a title picture unless she's poised to win it. You know what I mean? Like, and be dominant. Like if she's just gonna be fodder, then I don't want her in the title match.
There's ways to have her dominant yet. Sasha Banks can still pull out a W, kind of like how Bayley beat her.
Yeah, there's work to be done in that division because they built it around 3 girls, which is great. But then what's going to happen when those, you got to work other girls in.
Because at least on
To just
SmackDown,
push
there's
them.
like 3 different stories going on in the women's
Yeah.
division.
SmackDown women's.
They may not
division's
be
a
the
little bit
greatest
deeper.
stories, but they're still stories nonetheless.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and I was just gonna say, compared to SmackDown, they have, SmackDown has stories and things going on, man. So I don't know. Just Raw is not particularly doing it for me, and I didn't like some of the finishes that they did at the pay-per-view, so I was already not a fan. But
I think last night's Raw was actually better than the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view.
probably was.
Yeah, no, last night's Raw was good, although I got to tell you, I'm not digging this whole Cesaro-Sheamus deal.
hey,
Oh well, no, that's the finish that I was talking about. Somebody had to win that match.
yeah.
Well, but even now with the whole tag team thing and everything else,
It's some.
But now
Run of the
I'm also hearing that the reason why they put them together is because they're not confident that Cesaro's gonna re-sign
Oh,
and that his contract is up. So they kind of wanted to put him with Sheamus so that they didn't have to do much with him until he decided what he wanted to do.
right.
Makes sense.
But I feel like if they really wanted him, then they would do something with him. Instead of just say, fuck it, let's put him with Sheamus. And
Yeah, that's the other issue is that like they're trying, that you want to keep him, but what do you want to keep him for? So he can sit there and not do anything for you?
I don't know.
And I don't want to be and just to go for another subject here, I don't want to be that guy that just shits on something before it starts, like when New Day was first beginning or something like that, and then we all kind of got on the bandwagon. Why are they changing Emma's fucking?
Oh yeah. Hey, what
thing,
about
like,
that?
They're recreating her. I mean, like when she turned heel and went back to NXT, she recreated herself. Then it was great.
Yeah.
It was good until she got injured. So why are they doing this again? Emelina
Yeah,
or
that
something?
doesn't-
It's
that
fucking
sounds
stupid.
dumb.
I don't know. That's another Mr. Good question.
They should
asked
have kept
creator.
her the way she was before her injury.
The Emma Terminator.
Yeah, bicycle
Eminator.
cop or whatever. Yeah,
The Australian bad girl or whatever the hell it was.
right.
NXT revitalized her career a little bit, and then the injury obviously sidelined her. But this is just a stupid gimmick change, unnecessary
Right,
gimmick
I agree.
change.
Yeah.
What brand is she on? SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
Doesn't really even matter.
That can change in a week. So I never minded
Yeah.
the trades between brands. I wouldn't mind if they SmackDown and Raw actually became hostile towards each other instead of a nice.
Right. Yeah.
Because I feel
Eric
like
and us.
Cesaro and Sami Zayn specifically should be on SmackDown, not Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some different, things.
Or the whole trade, the Cesaro Sheamus thing could be him quitting Raw and signing with SmackDown. That would be
That'd be something.
get people talking
Right.
because they can play up his contracts coming up and have they were teasing it with Daniel Bryan tweeting him a couple times.
Yeah, they definitely teased that a couple times, which is that's good.
And maybe do a thing where should Miz retain over Ziggler, then that's when you bring Cesaro over or something.
Right. It's just so strange to think that those guys who are the quote unquote workers, and they're put on Raw to be
Yet at the same
entertainers.
time, Apollo Crews is kind of floundering on SmackDown.
Oh yeah,
anyway, so.
Apollo Crews is not doing it. I mean, he's not doing anything.
Apollo Crews shouldn't have been brought up so soon.
I agree. He shouldn't have because they didn't even develop a gimmick for him yet in NXT.
Yeah,
I love the guy. He's incredible in the ring, but he doesn't have.
He could have been a good challenger for Samoa Joe.
At least Cesaro has some kind of presence,
Yeah. Cruz, he has that "I'm so happy I'm here. Look at my big white smile."
Yeah, it sucks because I love Apollo Crews, like, is in the ring, but he just doesn't.
Right.
They needed to develop something, but I don't think that's on him.
No,
So
it's definitely not on him.
I
That's
agree. He
definitely on
should have
talent.
stayed in NXT for a little while longer.
Yeah, I think he should. That's like the thing with the what's the vaudevillains.
They
Same
had
deal.
enough time down there.
They were fairly over in NXT, but it doesn't translate always to.
Right. I think they needed to stay.
If they were going to be brought up, they had to be brought up and presented as credible, not.
Right.
How many tag team title shots have they got and lost?
That they're not credible. That's the definite. They're not at all credible.
I still say put Braun Strowman with them and make him Braun Strongman.
The strong bads. They cheat.
And
What did I tell you about throwing light switch raves?
And Strowman is already he was a competitive weightlifter, so he could have him come out and do the whole circus thing where he does feat of strength. It's something.
Braun Strowman is a guy and I hate to say this because I don't wish unemployment on anyone at all, especially because I've been through it myself. But Braun I don't know. He just doesn't. I don't see him going anywhere or doing anything really. Nor do I care if he does.
Listen to his interview with Austin.
No.
That's a good listen, actually. He has a decent personality to him.
That's awesome.
It's like Vince. You said Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin
outside of the ring for some reason is like himself is really, this. That was odd. Anyway, what I was getting at is Vince had said that Shelton Benjamin's personality outside the ring is actually really awesome, whereas maybe it just doesn't connect on camera all the time.
They're just not letting him really do much, but.
I don't agree with you, Eric, all that often, but this one I do. Braun Strowman will be wished the best in his future endeavors. It's just a matter of time. Well, we're at the top of the hour. We're about to get it ready for Smackdown. So I guess this is a good place to stop. Vince's laptop battery died. So, this has been another edition of the War Report. Get ready for Smackdown. We'll be back with you live next week, 7 p.m. TagMeADate.com. We got a whole revamp in the process. We're a few weeks out. We're going to be debuting the new Tag Me a Date, Bigger and Better. So stay tuned. We appreciate everyone's patience, but it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. And we hope to see you guys next week. You guys have any last thoughts?
Well, I want to put something out. Let's give an update to our bet here. Eric's up 44 to I have 40. Steve, you're at 37, and Vince is in last with 36.
But honestly, it's still anyone's game.
Oh yeah,
we got plenty of time.
A long way to go.
Eric, you have anything?
Go on. Sorry.
No. You can spot me representing Tag Me a Date. I'll be in Lumberton, North Carolina. A week from Saturday, there's a big forum for Magnum TA and Nikita Koloffs. I'll be there.
Cool. All right. Well, on that note, we will see everyone next week. Enjoy SmackDown Live.